Keeping your family safe is a priority for many and all parents, but there is one tragedy that can be easily avoided.
Yeah, we're talking this morning about fires and a smoke alarm. And this morning, firefighters are taking steps to make sure Valley families are ready by passing out smoke alarms and offering home inspections. Jacqueline Schultz is live with them this morning. Jacqueline?
Good morning. They're going to be handing out dozens, hundreds of smoke alarms actually around this neighborhood where behind me you can see it's now a vacant lot. But last December, if you take a look at this video, this is where a woman died in a mobile home fire back on December 20th. Firefighters don't know the cause and they couldn't even tell if there was a working smoke detector in the house. But it just shows you how many fires can be prevented and how many losses of lives can be prevented. In fact, 65% of deaths in a fire happen because of a lack of a smoke detector. Joining me right now is Forrest Smith and Warren Sprecher with Mesa Fire. Tell us why you're doing this today and what kind of smoke detectors you're handing out.
Well, Jacqueline, thank you for being out here. First of all, this is an extremely important message and reminding our community how important it is to have these smoke detectors. And the one you're holding here is what we call a dual sensor. That allows us to catch fire in the early stages and also catch it in the late stages, which we call that smoldering phase. And we cannot stress how important it is for families to have this first line of defense to protect themselves in case they have a fire.
And you're handing out a lot of these. How many do you recommend in a home at one time?
Well, what we recommend is that you can never have too many. However, we want to make sure people at least have them outside their living quarters and at least in the main areas, such as your living room and outside your bedrooms. And of course, if you have that one near the kitchen, well, we recommend that you don't have one near the kitchen, but you at least have it in the main living quarters. But the idea is not to just unplug those if it's a nuisance to you. Always put them in an area where you're going to have your living area and then away from the smoke that you can have from cooking and that sort of thing.
And Warren, tell me really quickly here, you're offering fire inspections to folks here in the neighborhood and in Mesa. Tell me some quick tips here as to what you should do if you wanted to conduct your own fire inspection in your house. First of all, change out the batteries and check the batteries often for your smoke detectors.
You want to check your smoke detector at least once a month and change out the batteries at least once a year, whether or not it's January 1st, your birthday. Back east, you know, we had the change of the clocks. We don't have that out here, but...
and this is also a safety hazard you want to avoid. These kind of daisy connectors, they're called?
Well, the surge protectors or, you know, any sort of extension cord, this one has 3 plugs in it. We'd be amazed when we do our home safety inspections. We go into homes and they have one plugged into another, or they have multiple outlets into this. This is not rated for that. So it's rated for 3 plugs, and that's basically all.
Thank you so much. So again, these guys are going to be handing out these smoke detectors to families all around this neighborhood. And it's important too, and if families get the chance, they can sign up for a fire inspection. You never know what little things around the house could be a hazard in your home, Faye.
Yeah, and what could possibly save your life. All right, thanks very much, Jacqueline.
Have already worked wildfires. Earlier this week, they contained a small wildfire in Chino Valley. But like each year, there will be more as the temperatures start to climb. This morning, Governor Jan Brewer will be out talking about wildfire season at the Arizona Division of Emergency Management. But it's not just the wildfires that crews have to deal with during the warm season. We often report all too often about house fires.
And so many of them could have been prevented by smoke alarms. That's why some East Valley firefighters are knocking on doors this morning. Jacqueline Schultz is live out in Mesa with firefighters who are working to keep families safe. Hey, good morning to you, Jacqueline.
Good morning. Firefighters are actually going to be handing out dozens, even more than 100 smoke alarms in this neighborhood. And here's where they're starting. Right now, this is a concrete lot. But if you take a look at this video, this is from back in December. This is where a mobile home fire killed a woman. Firefighters weren't able to tell if there was a working smoke detector in the house, but this is just a very sad reminder of what happens all too often when there isn't a working smoke detector. In fact, 65% of fire deaths happen when there isn't a working smoke detector in the home. Forrest Smith and Warren Sprecher with Mesa Fire. Forrest, tell me what kind of smoke detector you're handing out today. If folks want a good smoke detector, what kind should they look for?
What they should look for is a dual sensor detector, and what this allows you to do is have the ability to detect fires in 2 different stages, when it's happening early on and when it's later stages. This is an extremely important product to have around your home, and we can't stress how important it is for people to make sure that they have smoke detectors.
Now, these smoke detectors are provided by the Arizona Burn Foundation. Warren Sprecher, you are offering folks around the neighborhood fire inspections, but if folks want to do kind of a self inspection in their home, what should they do? First of all, check the batteries on the smoke alarms.
That's correct. And most people don't realize that smoke detectors actually have a life expectancy. So 10 years, your smoke detector is no good anymore. And, you know, we were fortunate to have a partnership with Arizona Burn Foundation. Since 2007, they've helped many fire departments around the state provide these dual sensor smoke detectors as well as these long-lasting batteries.
Thank you so much, Warren. And very important to note that there's a smoke detector recommended for each room in the house. I didn't even know that. So at least 3 in a home at a time, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Great advice out there. Thank you very much, Jacqueline.
Happening today, firefighters taking action in a Mesa neighborhood to save lives there. Take a look at this video from a deadly house fire near Greenfield in Maine back in December, where an elderly woman lost her life. Firefighters are going to be canvassing that area today, handing out smoke detectors. Gordon Martin lives across the street from where that fire took place, and the now empty lot is a constant reminder of that loss.
Still miss her. Yeah. You know, she had her trees up. Every Christmas she'd light the place up with Christmas lights. I mean, it was a ritual with her. And you do look over there now and it's all gone. It's kind of sad.
Firefighters and volunteers will begin that effort to go door to door starting about 10:30 this morning.
In Chandler, well, we all know smoke detectors increase your chance of making it out of a fire alive, yet many homes still don't have one, or at least one that works. That's why Mesa firefighters are walking door to door today, handing out alarms. The department hopes they'll prevent deadly fires like one last December that killed an elderly woman.
Still miss her. Yeah. You know, she had her trees up. Every Christmas she'd light the place up with Christmas lights. I mean, it was a ritual with her. And you do look over there now and it's all gone. It's kind of sad.
It's really recommended that you check your smoke alarm once a month to make sure that it is working okay, and change the batteries at least once a year.
All right.